to 5 years. Parliamentarians propose 58 amendments to the Decentralisation Act. And BML appoints Deloitte Singapore to conduct a forensic audit in relation to the corruption scandal of MMPRC. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to PSM News in English with me, Larif Ahmed. Now the news in detail. Minister of Finance Ibrahim Amir requests the Parliament to approve State Budget 2020 without changes in order to fulfill the pledges made to the people. In his introductory remarks before the floor opened for debate, the Finance Minister requested the Parliament to approve the budget without changes, highlighting the budget was formulated with a focus on running development projects in all parts of the country. Speaking at the Parliament, Minister Amir said the tourism sector is booming at a rate better than expected and other sectors will also develop this year. He said the economy will grow at 7.5% next year. The Finance Minister said the budget is based on policies of the government and the budget allocation aimed at ensuring pledges of the government are fulfilled. He further said while all sectors and all islands will experience development projects, the health sector will see revolutionary changes with the 5 tertiary hospitals to be developed in the 5 urban centers. The Health Minister has been allocated a budget of $265 million. The Minister further said the educational sector will see significant improvements with a budget of $286 million allocated to develop the sector. The budget covers free degree programs, loan opportunities for further education, and free breakfast program the government currently funds. Housing projects included in the budget also are mega-scale projects that intends to provide social housing for 20,000 families with an allocated budget of $38.9 million to develop housing. An additional $2.3 million has also been allocated to develop housing facilities in islands. The budget allocates a subsidy of $28.85 million to reduce the price of imported goods. The Parliamentary Committee on the State Budget expects to complete the evaluation and send to the floor by November 20th. Parliamentary Committee on Decentralisation decides to extend the term of local councils from a period of 3 to 5 years. The decision was based on the government proposition to change the term to 5 years, to which the majority of committee members voted in favour. According to the government, a 3-year term does now allow the councils to successfully plan and execute the development projects necessary in the islands. Another reason for the change is the cost involved in having local council elections every 3 years. The decision to change the term to 5 years is also an electoral pledge of President Ibrahim Mohamed Soleh. The change is proposed to the Constitution to empower the councils. More is being evaluated by an 11-member temporary committee. The proposition of the government has been approved without changes and has been forwarded to the floor. Once the President ratifies the amended bill, the councils elected in April 2020 will serve a period of 5 years, aligning all 3 major elections in Maldives. The government is amending the Decentralisation Act in addition to the changes brought to the Constitution as a part of the efforts to decentralise the administration of the country. The current system elects presidents and vice presidents of island and atoll councils as well as the mayors of city councils via vote among the councillors. However, the newly proposed amendments require a public vote to decide these positions. The government depicts the proposal as a major positive change towards better governance. Chair of the Parliamentary Committee on Decentralisation, Ali Niaz, says parliamentarians have proposed 58 amendments to the Decentralisation Act. According to Ali Niaz, the committee is currently evaluating the proposed amendments by the government, and the committee is bringing necessary changes to the proposals. He further said the changes were mainly proposed by the parliamentary group of the Maldivian Democratic Party (MDP), which generally focuses on empowering the councils more by removing obstacles in exercising their powers. The committee expects to hold discussions with the stakeholders this week regarding government propositions to the Act. Highlighting the aim is to improve the amendments by November 14th, Niaz said the committee had not revised the funding the government has allocated to councils from the state budget. The postponed amendments are expected to empower the councils more in order to facilitate better service and management. One of the significant changes include providing the councils with a share from the state budget. Next year, the government will provide local councils a budget of over $103 million. Chief Justice Dr. Ahmed Abdullah Didi declines to accept a notice sent by Judicial Service Commission JSC. In a statement, JSC asserted Ahmed Abdullah Didi requested to clarify the identity of the staff who went to his residence to hand over the notice over a probe into his disciplinary actions. After clarification from the staff, the Chief Justice entered his residence, closing the door behind him. The statement explained other judges from the Supreme Court accepted the notices from the staff. Criminal Court decides to form a bench consisting of 5 judges to conduct the trial of former President Abdullah Yameen Abdul Qayyum over charges of money laundering against him. As per the court, the decision was made after deliberations following request lodged by Yameen at the initial hearing to form a bench instead of one judge presiding over the case. The court explained, considering the nature of the case, the court made the decision based on Clause 58 of the Judicature Act. The judges' bench will consist of Judges Ali Rashid Hussain, Ahmad Shakil, Muhammad Samir, Ali Adam, and Hussain Faiz Rashad. The decision also comes at a time when the opposition party, Progressive Party of the Maldives (PPM), has rebided to form a bench for the trial. The next hearing of the case has been scheduled for November 17th. The verdict in former President's money laundering trial had been set to be announced on November 5th, until Judicial Service Commission JSC suspended Chief Judge Ahmed Hailam, presiding over the case over disciplinary actions. Minister of Finance Ibrahim Amir says the Maldives Marketing and Public Relations Corporation MMPRC must also work to market the fisheries sector of Maldives. Speaking at the Parliamentary Committee on the State Budget, the Finance Minister said the state-owned enterprise SOE must also promote Maldives' fisheries sector in addition to promoting tourism. He further said Maldives Fisheries Company Limited MIFCO can be easily transformed to a profit-generating company with MMPRC marketing Maldives fisheries along with the tourism sector in the company's bids in destination marketing. Minister Amir urged management of SOEs to apply good governance practices in running the institutes instead of using excuses for poor performances of the companies. He also cautioned the management of actions if the performances of the companies does not improve, indicating necessary management changes if required. He said the decision has been communicated with the SOEs. He suggested performance contracts to ensure good governance and performance, highlighting that various SOEs still resist positive change. The administration is taking necessary measures to make MIFCO a profitable company. The resources of the company are currently fully deployed in canning tuna and expanding fish processing. Bank of Maldives BML appoints Deloitte Singapore to conduct a forensic audit in relation to the corruption scandal of Maldives Marketing and Public Relations Corporation MMPRC. In a statement, BML reiterated it will never support financial irregularities in any form. BML said the findings of various audits to date have not highlighted any failure as regards to MMPRC on the part of the bank. However, as investigations into MMPRC continue, BML said the board of directors feel that it is in the best interest of the bank and the country to engage an independent external party to conduct a detailed investigative audit into the transactions relating to the corruption scandal. In this regard, BML has engaged international consultancy firm Deloitte Singapore with more than 150 years of experience in financial services to conduct a forensic audit. As part of its work, according to BML, Deloitte will review all bank interactions with MMPRC and SOF Private Limited and a full examination of all transactions, including endorsed checks as well as the reporting and control procedures in place at the time. The National Bank said its current policies and procedures will also be reviewed to evaluate the strength in terms of risk management and compliance with international standards. The review reflects the determination of the recently appointed board and CEO to ensure BML is seen as a trusted institution with the highest levels of integrity. BML added, it is also a part of a wider series of measures which will include recruiting a new chief risk officer to focus upon risk and compliance policies. The bank said it looks forward to the conclusion of the audit and engaging with the relevant authorities to support the ongoing investigations. President Ashraf Ghani says Afghanistan will release 2 senior Taliban commanders and a leader of the Haqqani militant group in exchange for an American and an Australian professor who were kidnapped in 2016. In a televised speech, President Ashraf Ghani said in order to pave the way for face-to-face negotiation with Taliban, the government has decided to free Taliban prisoners in exchange for 2 university professors. The decision to free top militant commander Anas Haqqani and the 2 other Taliban commanders in a prisoner swap could pave the way for peace talks between the Afghan government and the Taliban. The prisoner exchange comes at a time when efforts were being made to revamp peace talks between the US and the Taliban. The Haqqani network has in recent years carried a large-scale militant attack on civilians. It is believed to be based in Pakistan and is part of the Taliban in Afghanistan. The Taliban had kidnapped the Australian and American professors in August 2016 from the American University of Afghanistan in Kabul. The Football Association says England winger Raheem Sterling has been dropped from the squad to face Montenegro in the Euro 2020 qualifier at Wembley after disturbance at the national team's training camp on Monday. In a statement, the Football Association FA confirmed Raheem Sterling will not be considered for Thursday's Euro 2020 qualifier against Montenegro as a result of a disturbance in a private team area at St. George's Park. The Daily Mail reported that Manchester City winger Sterling had clashed with Liverpool defender Joe Gomez after the England team got together at their Burton-on-Trent training centre less than 24 hours after City lost 3-1 at Liverpool. The newspaper reported Sterling attempted to grab Gomez by the neck following his arrival in the players' canteen. The pair squared up in the latter stages of Sunday's Premier League clash after Gomez came up on as a substitute. The FA statement, which said Sterling will remain with the squad, did not address the specifics of the dispute or confirm if Gomez was the other party, but England boss Gareth Southgate linked the incident to Sunday's top-of-the-table clash. The next adventure in the Star Wars movie and TV franchise arriving on Walt Disney Co's new streaming service takes place on a lawless planet at the outer reaches of the galaxy. The Mandalorian, an 8-episode live-action series, stars Game of Thrones actor Pedro Pascal as a helmeted bounty hunter. It will be available on Disney Plus, a new $7 per month online subscription meant to compete with Netflixing.
No, it's pretty spectacular in its scope. It's spectacular in the characters and the way they're drafted. It's spectacular in the amount of talent that we have, both in front of and behind the camera. And the storytelling is just really magnificent storytelling. I think it's going to have people coming in week after week saying, I want more, I want more, I want more. At least it has me saying that, so, yeah.
The Mandalorian is set between the events of Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, the sixth and the seventh installments in the Star Wars movie saga. Disney will release the first episode on Tuesday and the second on Friday, followed by one installment each Friday after that. With that, we conclude the news for this hour. Thank you for being with us. Have a great day ahead. Goodbye.